Hello, hello.
Happy Friday.
Hello, happy Friday, everyone. We might have ought to have put a light on that. I'm realizing now. That's on me. Hello, Kai. What's up? Dylan, what's up, dude?
Hey.
Thank y'all for dropping in.
How does the audio sound?
How does the audio sound? Does everything sound okay?
Should we bring this
How does that sound? Does everything sound?
forward a bit?
I don't know. We could try. If I kill it with the V, I'm not apologizing.
Okay, maybe I can scooch a little bit.
Well, at least shows the top bit. We'll have to
Yeah.
get like another spotlight or something.
Sure.
Or if we feel like being really brave.
Do it.
I'm brave.
Do it.
I'm brave, guys.
We're early on. Do it.
I'm brave!
We'll do a lot.
Kai says audio sounds sweet, tones are squishy and juicy.
Ooh,
That's all I
nice.
needed to hear.
All right, cool.
All right. Look at my butt.
Probably turn my monitoring up a little bit then on the wedge. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, boy. The yellow's a little blown out, but I think right there. Oh, we had it. We had it. No, we had it. We had it right there. Boom. Yeah. That looks better. Sweet.
Yes. Don't know which one that is.
It's the one that has the quarter. Sweet. Thank you.
Yes. Enjoy my butt again. Here I am.
Yeah,
On the
let's work
Balaguer OnlyFans page.
Only riffs.
Only riffs. Audio is good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
It was a bit of a mad dash to get everything together before we started today.
Yeah.
Because I was swapping pickups in my guitar, and we were doing this and all sorts of other stuff. But also something, I wonder if that's the... okay, cool. So we have a couple of neat things today. Mario, I thought I heard Jake say just stick it in. You did. No shame in my game. Hello again. Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday.
If it's your first time joining us for our Friday live stream here at Balaguer headquarters, this is Mr. Joe Balaguer, the man, the myth, the legend. I am Little John Jake. Nice to meet everybody. If it's your first time, if it's not your first time, which based on everyone joining in, what's up, Brandon? Yeah, Jake's swapping pickups again. No way.
Whoa.
I know, right? Sorry, this is gonna be scratchy for a second. Boop. That mic was so close to. I was worried it was rubbing on my pec. You know, might have knocked it off with a strong.
Can't have that peck sound.
Yeah, I did swap pickups again. These are Balaguer Trueno Buckers. So,
Yes.
and it's actually the second pair I put in today. I tried a set of DiMarzios earlier, but these sound better. So the thing that we've got going on today, right? If you saw us post in the Balaguer Facebook discussion group, the BGFBDG, Joe hasn't been in here for a minute. The BGFBDG.
Oh, that's me.
I like it.
Changing it up a little bit.
Yeah. So we posted a little teaser of our friend here. And this is something that, to be fair, Joe has wanted to do for a long time, and we just never really had the chutzpah to do it. Now we do. So here we are, looking at this funky little thing that has this hilariously floppy little rubber
Welcome to the wheel deal.
dingle. This is the Wheel Deal, not to be confused with the Real Deal or Wheel of Fortune or anybody else who might sue this amazing production that's out here making us millions and bajillions of dollars. This is the Wheel Deal. We'll get to the Wheel Deal in a second. This is why you're all here. So, catch-up stuff.
Yes.
Spring for Strings.
Spring for Strings.
Spring for Strings. Massive success.
Yes.
It's very successful every year, which is really great because obviously that means that everyone's still into Select Customs and everything else that we do.
Yeah.
It makes us excited. It was extra cool this year because we released a couple of pre-orders right before Spring for Strings. We had Select Customs as part of the deal. Everything was kind of floating out there. And it was a massive success, as per the usual, I'm happy to say. So thank you to everyone who participated. If you bought a guitar, if you pre-ordered, ordered a Select Custom, if you pre-ordered something cool that we have coming out soon, if you ordered a t-shirt or just reached out to say, I wish I could order these things, I will soon.
Right.
We have your back, and we're stoked for you and for everybody else.
Yes, yes.
So thank you for making it a great success.
Yes, thank you.
Legally distinct wheel game. Yes. Kai knows how to play the game. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great success. So thanks everyone for participating.
Yeah.
I'm sure if it isn't the same time, same place next year, it'll roll around in a similar guise.
Right.
So, be sure to stay in touch. Be sure to follow us on all of our social medias.
That's right. Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. And the
wow, that was something.
You like that? I'm working on the technique. My top secret quarter bend, dude. Like it'd be something like the beginning of a Deftones song.
A little bit, yeah. There you go.
So, yeah, it was awesome. Thanks, everyone. It'll come around again at some point, and we just appreciate everyone's support.
Yeah, and anyone who missed out, I think the wheel deal is definitely, an opportunity to potentially get some cool stuff, and maybe even 15% off, which is what we were doing for Springs and Strings.
It's true.
Springs
and for .com strings.
You never know. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yo, Dave, what's up? And it is a big squeak, right? So the wheel deal, the deal of the wheel. This is something that Joe, like I said, has been wanting to put together for a while. There are many things on the wheel. We will spin it more than once today. Some things on this wheel are only applicable if you are here in this here live stream.
That's right.
So that's the fun bit for us, and the fun bit for you is that if someone was like too busy to be here, like had a life or something, they would not receive these benefits. So you are the chosen few. And they are, Kai says, really good prices.
It is really wheel.
I love all the wheel.
You picked on that. You picked up on that wheel well.
Yeah, that wheel well. So we'll go through some of the things. Some of them are in duplicate and or triplicate. 15% off right there at the top. That's the big grand prize, right? So if we hit the 15% off, one lucky person will receive the ability to order anything on the website for 15% off, which is super rad. We also have on either side of 15% off the pH.
What's pH mean, Jake?
I'll show you because.
You're on pH.
Oh, you thought you were going to get 15% off? But, no, you landed in pH. This is what you get. You get a pinch harmonic. You get nothing except for the glory of a pinch harmonic. Big oopsie.
The wheel gives, the wheel takes.
That's right. The wheel doth giveth and the wheel doth taketh away. Free t-shirt. Super cool. 10% off. Not quite 15, but still pretty rad.
It's true.
A free strap. It's
yeah.
So we have these really killer leather straps. If you've hung out with us at any of our previous get-togethers like Gear Fest, or if you visited us at any of our trade shows like at NAMM, or at the Guitar Show in the UK, or at the Guitar Summit in Germany, you will have seen these really killer straps. We do sell them on the website. They're a little expensive because they're super freaking awesome.
Yes.
We both have them on multiple guitars. That's a free strap. Your choice in color, black or gray. Now, let's say you thought you were going to get 10% or even a free t-shirt, but
no.
Then you get the ritual. And that's it. No more.
Sorry.
You don't get enough chug to be happy. You get too few chug.
Chug-a-lug.
Big chug. 10% off. We know what that is. Free t-shirt, free strap, another 10% off, another big chug, another free strap, another pinch harmonic, and we're back to 15% off.
Shall see.
So, what the plan is, when we spin the wheel, that thing will then be available. We will ask a question and or some sort of thing. Maybe you'll guess a number that we're thinking of. Whatever we decide to do.
Maybe you'll guess Jake's greatest fear.
Maybe you'll guess my greatest fear. Although my greatest fear is in fact fear itself.
Ooh.
So,
joke's on you.
First, right? Yeah. What about like spiders or airplanes or the moon? or the people who live in the moon.
Hey,
So
that's another live stream.
Yeah, it's another Reddit thread. So the wheel giveth and taketh away, as we've already discussed. So throughout the live stream, we're going to spin it. We'll ask a question. First person to drop the answer in chat, will win whatever is there shown on the wheel. If you roll a big or spin a big chug,
spin a big chug.
You spin a big chug, or you spin a pinch harmonic.
Show me how to spin a big chug, Jake. You gotta turn the mic off though first.
Spin a big chug, huh?
It's close enough.
It's the best I got.
Yeah.
I did give it a legit spin. First it giveth, then it taketh away. I think that's a really solid
quote from the Wheel of Time, maybe?
No, I was thinking
also a great book series.
From Songs for the Deaf.
Oh, okay.
From Josh Homme, who I was watching in an article the other day.
Sure.
Queens of the Stone Age. Jesus. So, all of that getting caught up in a very sporadic fashion. And we're going to do the first spin. So, we're still playing around with the format of whether we give the question first and then spin, but probably not. So we're going to spin, and then while it's spinning, Joe's going to think of a really great question that you're all going to have to answer, and the first person to get it right wins whatever's on the board. All right. Do you want to spin, or do you want me? I think you should take the honorary spin. The inaugural spin.
I'll spin.
It's like smashing a champagne on a board.
Ready?
Yes. Spin it well, Joe. Yes, floppy boy. With Flopperson. Boom!
Oh, no.
That's going to be a big chug. Give it to him, Joe.
Give me that mic mute.
One big chug.
Sorry.
Well, sorry, everyone. You were stuck with
what a way to start.
the big chug. There will be more wheel spinning, fear not. So
I think Jake should spin.
I'll spin the next time. So let's see. What do we a woman, obviously, of course. Spin it. Ooh, got that free chug face with it too. Yeah, Joe's all about the twofer. You know what I mean?
I got the frown. Yeah.
The BOGO. Buy one, get one free. Buy one great big chug, get one face free.
Wow. Something like that.
Let's play another riff. Let's jam for a second.
Get that off.
Not too bad.
Nice.
Bit of a repeat jam, but we like that one a lot, so
Yes.
we went for it anyway.
Yes, yes, yes.
You don't get to choose.
And I'm only cradling this guitar so you all can see the wheel deal.
That's not true.
I don't normally hold my guitar like this.
That's not
maybe
true.
sometimes when I'm
Every
sleeping.
time we jam.
Yeah.
It's like not even classical position.
In between
it's
the
like,
notes, I just hike it up.
It's like super classical. Making Tom
Hyper classical.
Making Tom Morello.
I feel like that's a subgenre somewhere in the world.
Hyper,
music. Hyper classical.
It's probably like
power metal.
I was gonna say, yeah, like
neoclassical.
Classical and speed.
Faster.
Yeah, but faster. Exactly. Like if Sonic the Hedgehog played classical music.
Yes.
Yes. Very nice. Yes, thank you. So
what are you playing?
What am I playing? So I am playing, for those of you who don't know, we typically play the Quad Cortex for our signal. Today we mixed it up a bit, which if you caught us right at the intro was why it took us an extra second to get started.
Yes.
And why we were joking and laughing and why you saw my butt twice while I went up and adjusted the monitor.
Hey.
Is because I am playing through the trusty stalwart that is the Quad Cortex. I am playing my Ether, which anyone who's seen a live stream has seen before because I love it. Soft pickups yet again, as Kai pointed out, to be relatively hilarious because I swap them all the time. I had Invaders. Well, I had Ferals when I first got it.
Yes.
Then it had Invaders. Then it had a DiMarzio Tone Zone and an Air Norton for about an hour. And now it's back to the Balaguer Trainobuckers. And I'll listen back to this live stream and decide if I want to keep these. But they sound ripping. I had the anyone who's also seen my Gold Burst Seraph or Sparkle Gold Seraph, it has the same bridge pickup, literally. So it's a really great high output Alnico 5, sort of, I would say, focused in the lower and upper mids type character pickup. So it's got a lot of like presence and crunch, but not in like a nasty high indie way.
Sounds good so far from what I've heard.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's nice. It's very harmonically rich, which is something that I look for in a pickup. It's tight without being like sterile. And it's got that nice sort of, like I said, harmonic content.
Give them all a little taste.
It sounds like this. Pretty rad.
Muy bien.
So that's through the Quad Cortex. I'm using a capture of my Balaguer Uber Ultra that has since fled the stable.
That's what I was wondering, what amp you were going through.
Yes, this is my Bogner Uber Ultra. No boost. This is the pure amp signal through the Bogner cab IR that's built into the Quad Cortex.
That sounds great.
Thank you. It does sound really good. I like that sound a lot. My lead sound is just that exact same thing on the Bogner with a little bit more mids and a little bit more gain. And just for funsies, it sounds like this.
Also sounds great.
Pretty cool. It's a really fun, ever since I got this guitar, which for those who have been around quite a while, I got when I first moved up. It was completed when I first moved up to Pennsylvania at the invitation of our Lord and Savior Joe Balaguer to be here for full-time in-person work. And it was here and it just felt right. And ever since, it's been a guitar that I've really gelled with. And
you swapped the trim too.
Yeah, anyone who was here in the last live stream, we talked about mods, and I swapped the trim out for an original Floyd. It's also got the noiseless springs in the back, which is why they're red.
Nice and red.
Yeah, it's super sick. The Trainobuckers, I swapped some controls around. This is actually, you can't tell. I should probably hold it up when I do this or it's going to get made fun of. This is a bigger knob than you might be expecting. DiMarzio pot. So like I just kind of went nuts with it. I also prefer the switch to be nearer to my hand rather than the volume knob. I know most people like it the other way around, but there's something about just being able to switch and then have the volume low that I really like.
Yep.
Almost all of my guitars are modded that way, or I ordered them that way, or we talked about it beforehand. But yeah, super slick. It's my Fleur de Vie,
That's right.
which is just shout out to John Vocal for naming one of my babies, but he's an honorary Louisianian, so he gets the credit.
Yes, yes.
So yes, welcome to my TED Talk. You sold me on the Fission Buckers. Don't back out now.
Nice.
Dave says, no, trust me. The Fission Buckers are still in 2 of my other guitars, and we were talking earlier because we were comparing that guitar. We were comparing a bunch of guitars and a bunch of pickups. It's a good idea to kind of recenter your brain. And also it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we actually had my Blueberry Boy, my number 1 that people have seen me play for way too long now, that has Fission Buckers in it. And when I was playing it, it's like my reference tone. When I hear the Fission Buckers and the mahogany bodied guitar, it's just like, that is happy place for me.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is sort of a riff on that. And the Tranos specifically in the Ether, I want something that's a little more
mid-forward, maybe?
Yeah, a little more mid-forward, a little thrashier, a little more Alnico 5 without being quite so tight. It's got the like mid-presence that I really like in that sound. So to be able to do like, like that sort of sound to me, when I play that stuff with the Fissions, it's like it's how I want it to sound.
Yeah.
But when I want to push that sound a little bit more in the mids and have a little more of a crunch and like a harmonic thing going on, that would be these pickups.
For sure.
So never fear, Dave, never fear. It is still my happy place. And it was the baseline for a lot of the comparison stuff that we did. That I think is probably, the rig in general. If you're familiar with that, you'll know that's what we've used forever.
Mm-hmm.
However, and yes, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. A nice extension of the crotch too. Thank you, Jamie Gold. Yes, that's why I picked my guitar up like this and went big knob, because if I had done big knob, everyone would like, I don't know, cap it and drop it on our Facebook page or something.
That was a good joke. You did wheel well there, Jamie.
Yes, wheel well. Longtime friend of Joe Balaguer, or longtime friend of me, even longer time friend of Joe Balaguer, Jamie Gold.
Yeah.
And welcome, Daddy. Thank you for chatting with us. But Ether, Quad Cortex, you're familiar with this. Mr. Balaguer.
Yes.
You are doing something different today. I wish I had a pedal cam that I could show your pedal board.
My pedal board is literally a tuner, just to make sure I'm not sounding awful.
Yes, period. Like that's it, a tuner.
But yeah, I am waiting for a Nano Cortex to come in from our friends at Neural. So I'll be back on the QC Nano Cortex train here soon. But thought it would be kind of cool to play through one of my amps behind us. It's a clone of a Wizard MTL amp. So it's like a modded British monster type of amp. I think it's based off the Silver Jubilee. I'm not entirely sure though. But I'm putting that through a Mesa IR Plus cab clone load box. And yeah, it's a mouthful. And I'm using their built-in IR of the Mesa Boogie traditional 4x12 with vintage 30s. And I believe it's a 57 SM57 mic, as well as a
Royer 121.
Royer 121, thank you, for the impulse response. And yeah, I just have my trusty Hyperion. This was a production guitar. This is actually owned by Fluff. He sent it back as like a memento. And
great movie.
He still has a bunch of them, but this is one of the first production ones, and he wanted me to have it, which was super thoughtful. Just has our ferrule humbuckers in it. And yeah, sounds like this.
Very nice.
Yes, and yeah, I'm excited to get the Cortex in, but it was cool to play through an amp for today. Something a little different.
Yeah, it's something we've been talking about doing for a while, especially if you've been hanging around the live streams.
Yep.
We've kicked around the idea of Joe has the Mesa CAD clone and I have a Capture X.
Yep.
We've talked about doing like dual live mic setups, running the Quad Cortex like as a sort of like we run it live with one signal out and one signal to the cab, or I don't know. We'll figure in the effects loop to get multiple sounds out of one amp. We'll see where we get with all that, but this is sort of a test run for that, and it's been outside of the monitoring levels. It's been a pretty great experience. I'm eager to listen back to it. I know a couple of people have said how good it sounds. I hope that
nice.
I hope that you're not just blowing smoke, because we we do want to see it. So we'll listen back and check it out. But that amp in person, that amp sounds amazing.
Yeah, and I think it would be fun eventually, like you were kind of alluding to, if this sounds cool, maybe one stream we can do all amps and test out some different stuff in a live stream in the future. So
yeah, for sure,
we shall see.
Kai says that he thinks the first time he saw Balaguer was Fluff playing him.
Oh, awesome! That's killer. Yeah, this is one of my favorite guitars, and even though I'm holding it like this, I do hold it very close.
Yes, like
to my heart, my blackened heart.
Yes, your blackened heart,
yes.
Your bladder. The Fluff, great guy. Still plays a couple of the guitars, like Joe said. Recently did a lot of work with Marshall, including some of their new amp stuff, some R&D for them, and was there with them at NAMM. All around rad dude who's always been a good hang. And it was a super cool thing. I mean, it's been, he has had some amazing opportunities. He plays Music Man. He plays, he has a Fishman, signature Fishman pickup. He's done a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Not anymore. I think he left recently to pursue stuff with Mr. Seymour Duncan.
Ooh.
I don't know too much about that, but I do know he publicly said something about.
Okay, I was about to say we're spilling the beans over here in the Balaguer live stream.
No, I think he publicly said something about Fishman at some point, but yeah, no, he's still a good buddy of ours, and yeah, this this model is still one of our most popular models.
It is
as a select custom shape, and yeah, just feels right on the body.
Yeah, it's a sick guitar, and we still have people similar to you, Kai, who come up to us and say, "Oh yeah, like I've been a fan of you guys since back in the day when Fluff was doing the thing," and it's just it's cool. He's been such a great dude, a great hang, honest guy in the industry by all accounts.
Yeah,
just an awesome dude to hang with. So
Agreed.
And Hyperion rips. It's one of the few guitars that we've done that I wish I would have bought. We did a Hyperion that was Lake Pelham Blue, or I did that the other day, didn't I? Lake Placid Blue, Pelham Blue sort of riff, and it had a humbucker in the neck and a Telly bridge pickup with like a Telly style with a tunematic bridge.
I remember you being into that at a Gear Fest.
I was. That was my second Gear Fest before I was working for the company, and I was like, if I had the money, I would have bought it then. And it's one of the few that I've seen some similar ones pop up, and I'm like, oh, and I've thought about building myself one because I'm like, it is so sick. But yeah, the Hyperion as a model has just sort of stood the test of time in a cool way, and it gets built out in some really interesting configurations that I think make it, special because it really works in all of those configurations.
For sure. And I also think it's about time that you spin the dang wheel.
Spin the dang wheel, son. Jamie says that was one of his favorite guitars too.
Nice.
Yeah, that one was sick. Brandon says black bladder. That's not good.
Black bladder.
He's right.
I don't have a black bladder.
And he says, I think his new Sterling will have Seymour Duncans.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Those are rad.
And his signature plugin is rad. Yes, it is.
Yes.
And Kai says the Burnt Axe custom Seafoam one in particular was super, super
Yeah, that one's right in the other room. We should bring that out for a stream at some point.
Yeah, we actually, it is set up. So yeah, maybe we'll do like a dual Hyperion stream next time.
That'd be cool.
We'll be the hype boys. Hype. It's a Curvy Explorer. Yeah, that's the vibe. It's basically a less extreme version of that shape, inspired by similar guitars.
Yeah, it's a riff on a few different shapes that Fluff and I kind of were inspired by back then. It's pretty, pretty clear cut where the inspiration came
Would
from.
like to see that one come out from a vid. Yes, she got curves. You're right, dog. So spin the wheel, Joe says.
Let's
Joe
go.
Balaguer says. We'll spin the wheel for a second time. If you missed the beginning of the stream, this is what we're calling the wheel deal.
The wheel
Where
deal.
there are all sorts of cool things that people can win. So I'm going to spin this wheel. Whatever it lands on, there are a couple of womp womp spaces. We landed on one earlier.
Yep.
Although they're not really womp womp because we get to have fun with it. But when this lands on something, I'll ask a question. First person to answer it in the chat gets whatever's on the wheel. It's pretty simple. So prepare your butts.
Yeah.
That was a good spin. This thing's got nice bearings in it. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so
Free
close. Free
t-shirt.
Okay.
Nice.
So we obviously have Balaguer t-shirts. This means
Yes.
there's a free t-shirt ready for the first of you that can. Brandon says PH. There's a free t-shirt for whoever can answer this next question.
Yes.
And for those of you who don't know, I'm a fan of Trivial Pursuit and trivia knowledge in general.
Nice.
I am not one of those people who can go to trivia night and win a bunch of money. Quizzo, as some of you may know it. And that's okay because I have fun questions. And my question for you, viewer, is fingers at the ready. Hey, John, answer this question real quick and you'll win a free t-shirt.
Hey.
My question for you is, among all of the most famous of the slasher films, in my opinion, one stands out above the rest. That movie is Halloween, and who directed it? You can answer that question. I'll give it to you.
You have 5 seconds.
You have 5 seconds. Go, 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 go.
4, 3, 2,
No Googling.
1.
I'll give it to Mario. He nailed it before you said one. Yeah. John Carpenter. Ooh, Dylan says Rob Zombie. So Rob Zombie did the remakes, or did his versions of Halloween.
I was going to say, you should have clarified.
And they were good. I guess technically I would have to give it to you if Mario didn't say it first. So Mario, you've got our info. Shoot us an email.
Yes.
We'll send you a t-shirt. Because that's fun and what we do.
Nice.
So yeah. Dude, I was expecting a guitar question, John says. I bet you were. That's the fun.
Yes.
Time to get weird with it. Don't worry, we'll spin the wheel at least one more time before today's live stream is over.
Yes.
In the meantime, you want to riff a little bit more?
Sure.
Also, we're glad that everyone's here. We will bring out that thing. Kai says Big Chug number 2 probably coming up.
Uh-oh.
So can I include? Mario says, can I include a chug? No.
Of course.
We play by the rules here, Mario. Gosh.
We got there eventually.
Yeah, we got there. We figured it out. You know, it's all about the jazz riffing.
Yes.
If you're comfortable playing jazz
yes.
like we are as jazz experts at jazz, then you will know that there are no wrong notes, especially when they're like
chromatics. You just got to play the notes in between, bro.
That's right, just the notes in between the notes. There was a side note.
Yeah.
One of the wildest chromatic riffs I've ever learned was that riff in the Petrucci in the Dream Theater solo from Under a Glass Moon. When he does that, it's like literally the most chromatic thing I've ever heard in my life.
I know exactly what you're talking
and
about.
I never knew that's what he was doing, but it's just that like. It's something like that.
Yeah,
and it's just like, it's literally just. And I was like, hey, man, if he can make it sound good, which, of course he can.
Speaking of lead players, who's everyone's favorite lead player in the chat? I'm curious. Now I'm curious.
Okay, favorite lead players.
And maybe that's the next wheel spin question. Right? What's that?
That's like
It's my brain slowly rotting. Oh, you're talking about Jeopardy?
Yeah. Joe Balaguer and Jake Thornburg. Yeah, that's us, dude. That's what it feels like right now, if I'm honest.
Yep. It's Friday.
Guy says, I think the wheel needs cowboy chords and blues licks. We're getting too many PH and big chugs for free.
Okay.
Oh, that's a fair point. Ooh, actually, that's not a bad idea. We should do like play your bluesiest lick. Like it should be like a penalty for us too. Like you have to embarrass yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
Just give it to
something like that.
It's like, play a riff if your name was Stankfish McFistfist and you were from whatever. Which is ironic because that is the music I grew up playing, and I still love it.
Down in the bayou.
There ain't no shame in that game. I will literally just play a 1-4-5.
Eating some of Meemaw's gumbo.
Yeah, Meemaw. My mama would come over here and slap that smile right off your face.
That's fine. She can do it.
She's the man.
She's the man.
She's the man. Great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, it's not. The Jake mode. Yeah, that's right. Nice finish, indeed. No, I like that idea. We should add some like penalty stuff. That's funny.
Yeah.
I don't listen to bands with lead guitarists, this guy says.
Ooh.
And John says, I think Sin Gates still takes the cake for me as a lead guitar player.
I like that.
Yeah, I am a huge fan as well. While I do not play lead like him,
Nice. We are fans of Avenged Sevenfold here.
We are, yes. And all you haters can go find an alligator because ain't no business for that. Let's see. What else? Six-string disciple. Well, I really can't talk today. I should have a coffee or something. Mark Tremonti.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
A good shout out.
Definitely. A lot of the Alter Bridge stuff, I think he rips even harder on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Than like Creed and stuff. I don't know if anyone's ever listened to some of the other work he's done past Creed, but yeah, he's a ripper.
Yes. I am an unabashed Creed fan, but I do think that was his, like, we're doing the, like, we're living in the 90s, playing our rectifier, doing the thing.
Right.
And then the Alter Bridge was him, like, I think getting to do more of what he kind of wanted to do.
Plus, he's like, maybe it's not a secret anymore, but he's like a huge tone nerd and like has a ton of amplifiers that he collects.
I actually haven't played his new amp yet.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty rad.
I have heard that it's great.
Yeah.
Bruce Kulick. Okay, that's a fine shout.
Mm-hmm.
Marty Friedman. Dave says, Gypsy Jazz Theory applied to metal. I can tell you that is, if not Joe's all-time favorite, probably is definitely in his top 3.
Yes.
Mima. Yeah. Not technically, but I've always been a Ray Toro fan. Nice. Juan says Oli Abear or Herbert. Sorry, I want to say Abear because that's how we say it.
Oh yeah, Ollie Herbert
I was say, who
from.
is that?
I think he is now not with us anymore. I think he passed away. I think that's the dude from All That Remains.
Oh,
Previous guitar player.
Is that right?
Another
Let us know. Juan,
ripping guitar player. I'm pretty sure that's his name.
Who you're thinking of?
I think so.
Yeah,
sure.
All That Remains. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I feel like a lot of his lead playing was very Marty Friedman inspired.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very correct, Brandon says. Yes. Yeah, I think that's I mean, John brought up Sin Gates. He was, I first started getting into shred around that era. So it was like him, Alexi Lejo. And I'm not claiming to play like these guys. I'm just saying guys who sort of broke me out of the, whatever, what am I trying to play? I don't know what I'm trying to play, Jim.
I don't know.
Like, like the old school metal of like Sabbath and Priest.
Sure,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, I still love it. But like the stuff that broke me into starting to get into like metalcore, more modern sounds, more shreddy and heavier stuff, it was like Avenged, Children of Bodom. Because I remember at the time, that was the thing, right? It was like sweep gods, and sweeping was becoming like public knowledge. And everyone was like, oh my God, I don't want to do, like, give me the, I mean, you can sweep so much better than me, but all of that stuff was like, oh, okay, these are the players sort of pushing that style of playing with a different sound. And still to this day, I think listening back to even the older Avenged stuff, they catch so much shit, and it's ridiculous because the songwriting's insane, and his guitar playing is like, there are guitar players throughout time that, in my opinion, make sloppy a technique. Like, the guy's insane. Like, he can shred with the best of them. But there's something, like, sloppy in his rhythm, but he somehow ties it together.
Yeah, it definitely sounds... I know what you're talking about, and I feel like it's because his phrasing is sometimes, like, not syncopated, but it's, like, not always on the beat in his solos. And it can come across as maybe off time or sloppy. But, yeah, I think it also is, like, from an auditory perspective, like hearing like chromatics thrown in these like crazy fast lines. I think there's a big difference between like that style of phrasing with chromatics and like listening to like a Kirk Hammett solo, which is not bad, but it's like those are two different, intentional phrasing techniques or whatever you want to call it. That
I'm going to call it an intentional phrasing technique.
There you go. That you can tell Sinister Gates has kind of like, he's already thinking ahead of what he's going to be shooting for.
And speaking of gypsy jazz, that's like his bag now, outside of the Avenged stuff too, which is wild. And he's so sick.
Well, his dad's like isn't his dad like a classical guitar player and a gypsy jazz player?
Yeah, his dad, yes. And is also a comedian that,
I didn't know that.
Not Jeff Dunham. Damn. He's famous for like playing goofball songs and stuff. I actually saw him open for maybe he was opening for Jeff Dunham. I saw him in Louisiana when I was younger, and he was doing this whole music bit, right? And he's playing like a Strat, and then he like pulls this cloth down, and it's a freaking Gates signature guitar. And he's like, for those of you who don't know, like my son's the lead player in a band called Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
He thinks he's hot shit because he can play, but he learned everything from me. And he like cranks the gain up and proceeds to just melt the guitar. And I was like, oh my God,
that's
dude.
cool. I never knew that. Yeah, I never knew that.
It was ridiculous. He's also very funny.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he plays guitar like an absolute beast. Corey Feldman, nice. Shout out to anyone that has ever played in the Black Dahlia murder. That's a good shout.
Yes, for sure.
Kai says, I don't even know the guitarist's name, but oh my goodness, I cannot pronounce that. You would probably know.
Can't see it from here.
Allegaeon.
Elysion?
Elysion?
Yeah, I think they're like a progressive death metal band.
Oh, I don't know them, but I will certainly listen to them now, Kai. Good shout. Juan says Lejo and Lapfala were huge, yeah.
Yes.
And a great pair, too, with killer tone. There's so much unique about that band. I spent my 10 years learning to sweep. My teen years learning to sweep, and I'm quite old now. Yeah, I can do like the worst sweeps, and that's all I can do. The most basic sweeps.
So speaking of lead players, I have a pretty easy question. So it's really gonna come down to who can answer
The fastest.
the fastest. So the question is,
Wait,
what?
you don't ask the question first. You spin the wheel.
I thought that's what you did.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta spin the wheel.
All right,
first.
you ready?
All right, y'all ready? Wheel spin number 3. The last wheel spin of the day, I think.
That was a hard one.
That was that's what she said. Whoa!
It's not rigged, I promise. Free T-shirt.
Well,
Well,
it's gonna be a free T-shirt for someone. So
are you
Joe,
ready?
Get your question ready.
Who was the original lead guitar player in Metallica? I thought you were gonna play Seek and Destroy or something.
Oh shit! I don't remember the riff. How's it go? Play it.
Anyone?
Corey
guess?
Feldman. John says Dave Mustaine.
Ooh. You're correct, John.
Yes, it is Dave Mustaine.
It is Dave Mustaine of now Megadeth.
Of now,
Fame.
yeah, in case you've heard of him.
Yeah. So there you go, John.
There
I'm
you
sure
go.
you can find me. What's Seek and Destroy?
Yeah.
We're trying to play into drop tuning, and it's not going
Yeah.
well. Yeah, that was an easy one, and I feel like the T-shirts, like there's got to be one last spin for you at the end
Oh
of
man.
this.
Okay. Well, John, you get a free T-shirt. So
We're
hit
gonna
us
get a
up.
free T-shirt. Boom.
You guys ever hear that OG Ultimate Guitar Post of Dave Mustaine reviewing Metallica's discography?
No.
No, but oh my goodness, I have to figure that out. I do think he's hilarious. So yes. But yeah, hit us up, John. You'll get a shirt.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I'm gonna spin the wheel one more time because Joe's telling me to, and he's my boss. So I need to think of a question because I didn't have another one prepared. But let's see what we can do.
I think this question should be a pretty hard one.
A pretty hard one.
Yeah. But definitely achievable.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna riff for a second while I think of a question, then I'll spin.
All right.
Hang around if you want something for free.
Hopefully that wasn't a precursor to the pinch harmonic.
Because
You'll
why
spin.
not? Yeah, we're about to find out. All
Yeah.
right. Spin.
Here we go. That rubber's really smacking
Whoa.
that thing. Oh, free strap. All right.
Free strap. So,
Boom.
if you want a free strap, the high quality leather strap, the really rad ones that we sell on the website.
Yes, made by our buddy Hugo in Chile. Shout out to Hugo.
Yeah, shout out to Hugo in Chile,
Yeah.
who is an absolute beast. So, I didn't think very hard while we were playing because I can't do two things at once. But let's see. Okay. I have a question. Not only is it musical, it's Balaguer related, and I think it's tough enough where if you don't know, well, I think it's tough enough. So
Tough enough.
I'll lead up to it to get people in the right headspace, and then I'll drop the question.
Just like Jake. Tough enough.
That's me, baby. Tough enough. So, Bo Burchell, Balaguer, endorsed artist, all around amazing guy,
Yes.
and guitarist in the band Seosin. They've been a band for 20 years now. This year was their, or was it last year? This year is their 20th year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only a fitting question, in my opinion. What was the original EP? What was their breakout EP called?
Ooh. Boom. 10 seconds.
10 seconds. What was their breakout EP?
8, 7.
And if you haven't listened to it, I'm
6,
silently judging you.
5.
It's so good.
4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hear it.
Nobody? Really?
Anyone got it? Anyone?
And no Googling. If I find out you're Googling, I'll have to find you.
Bueller?
You'll get swatted. The Gray, Dylan says no. A good guess.
It was a good guess.
Um,
They need to translate their ideas into reality. Okay?
there you go, Juan. Translating the name.
Boom!
That's correct. And it is amazing. I will say to anyone who ever replies to these questions with "I don't know," I have so much respect for you because you could just be like Google machine,
Yeah.
and then you'd be lame. But instead, you're like, "I don't know," and I respect that.
Hey, it's
You
still
gotta
an
know
answer.
what you don't know.
Yep.
I respect that. And yes, so do we, Juan. So Juan, hit us up. I know you've got our contact info too. of course.
Yes. Shoot me an email.
Yes, and you will get a free strap. We'll box it up. All this stuff we'll send out in the next week or so. You'll get a tracking email. If you want a shirt or a strap, reach out to us. Most of y'all have, if not both of our emails. And if not, info@BalaguerGuitars.com.
Yes.
We will send you your swag. Hopefully, the next time we bust this out, because it won't be every week or every live stream, but hopefully we'll get to some 10 and 15% offs. People can save some money in them select customs, and it'll be all like.
It'll be like that. Hopefully a bit longer, though.
That's what he said.
There we go. Oh. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one. pH. Gotta check your pH level.
Gotta check my pH. I'm feeling a little acidic.
Yeah. Pinch harmonic level.
JK, though, I'm a basic. So, anyway.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. It has been a fun Friday. I think we'll continue.
Yes.
We'll probably do this every 2 or 3 live streams, something like that, just for funsies, because we, in between trade shows and all of that stuff, we don't get to like give out a lot of swag. So
Yeah.
it'll be fun. And I think we'll probably change up some things. There were some good ideas today.
Yep.
Of course, if there's any sort of hilarious things you want to see, like Joe Balaguer drinks an entire gallon of milk, let us know.
Not that.
And we'll definitely put it on there. Like
Maybe
Carolina Reaper for Joe.
I was gonna say maybe we have a little table here with hot wings on it, and we
Sounds familiar.
yeah.
We'll do some punishment work.
Yeah, don't sue us, Sean Evans.
Yeah, right. Oh, shout out to Mario. Good. Hey, happy Mother's Day. Yeah. Shout out.
Yes.
If Kai says I need new pickups again, nice. And I'm fighting for those. I am indeed. Jake does 100 push-ups. Jesse says.
Boom. There he is.
Yes,
there he
thank you,
is.
Jesse. We can put push-ups on
Shout
the
out
list.
to Jesse.
I think that's fair. Shout out for
Yeah.
hanging, dude.
Yeah.
And good to hear from you. Yeah. Good point though. Mario says happy Mother's Day to all the ladies in the chat.
Yes,
if
this
there are any.
Sunday.
And for all the ladies in the lives of those in the chat who aren't ladies. Because
Yeah.
it is Sunday. Show your mother some love, or show someone's mother some love, or but show that mother.
Respectfully.
Yes, respectfully. Hashtag respectfully.
Yes.
But we're gonna riff a little bit, then we're gonna peace out. Thanks for hanging. Super stoked.
Have a good weekend.
Super stoked that everyone came out. Have a
Yeah.
great weekend, and happy Mother's Day, you mothers.
Yes.